Good afternoon, Nation of Zimbabwe. I welcome everyone to this platform of Prophetic Talk. This is your prophetic intercessor, messenger of hope, Pastor Oshen Amandishe. I'm coming again with this message. I want us to understand that when we speak these prophetic messages, sometimes people or even leaders mistaken us as content creators. The reason why I repeatedly upload prophetic reviews reflecting on what I shared before is to prove that when God speaks, the nation should listen and people should be alert. Now we are hearing that there's someone who was killed by Chinese in Motoko. The video clip that you have just saw on the beginning of this video is part of the video of something that happened in Motoko. A few days ago, I uploaded a video where I was doing a prophetic confirmation of something that happened in Mount Darwin where people were fighting the Chinese. So this is something that we need to understand, Zimbabwe, that if you are not very careful, a revolution will break out throughout the nation where people start to take arms with the Chinese. And this will not end well and good even with the nation of Zimbabwe. Relations may be sour. So what am I saying? I'm saying there are certain things that needs to be addressed with our leaders and to look how these Chinese are operating in our nation, Zimbabwe. I'm going to I'm going to put 2 video clips just to remind us to hear what I said previously. The other one I was talking about Chinese debt that is upon Zimbabwe, referring back to a previous message which I shared with the title, China is building upon Zimbabwe. So after listening to this, I want you to go through the clips that are there, including the one that was posted showing how people were angry and they wanted to beat Chinese because they killed one of our own.
Oyo chikanda ipo baba. Nzoyo nika mota ka uvo kanda.
I shared a message where I said China is building upon Zimbabwe. So in order for me not to repeat myself, I'm going to give you a short clip of that message, not the whole message, so that what I want to share with us today, you can appreciate what I'm going to share with us today. So I want you to listen to that short clip to say, the building that is happening, these people are trying to establish themselves in Zimbabwe. That's the first interpretation. Second, the rock that you saw is a nation of Zimbabwe. That's why we are called Zimbabwe. But because of what is happening, because the economy seemingly not right, that are the circumstances surrounding our nation, these are causing these people, these Chinese, to take advantage of what is happening. So whatever is happening, even the government inviting them and do business deals and so forth, but they are really taking advantage. They are there to establish themselves there. As much as Zimbabwe may be a friend with China, they must be very careful. They must not give them that access to be in charge of men. There's a word that was coming to say the leaders of Africa, some in court, they've let their people down. They have just jumped a certain wire. They have just jumped a certain game to another game. They must realize that it's not a matter of hitting the left and also go to the right. What I'm saying is that they are making deals with new players. For example, I once sent a message to our nation to say, you may jump, you may run away from a lion, but you'll be going to a leopard. And I want you to understand when I use these examples. A lion and a leopard, these are animals that feeds from meat. So if someone says, I hate a lion, he cannot just give his meat to a leopard and say, because I hate a lion, deprive his children of the food that they must get by giving it to his friend and say, I will not give my enemy. Because if you deprive your own children, even if you give your friend and your children are suffering, you are as good as giving your enemy the food, because the same thing that you are running away from, the same thing that you are trying to protect, is the same things that are being taken by your friend. So the nations of Africa and the leaders of Africa, this is where God was saying they have let their nations down, in the sense that when they built alliance with other nations, especially those in East, they are doing much more in plundering the resources of Africa that are going out instead of building the nations of Africa. So what is the message here? The message is coming to say Africa needs to look itself and build something that can protect its own resources, more than taking the resources and give them to what they call their friend. Yet they were crying years back that they were under colonization. They have invited some other people not to protect resources, but to take the same resources out of Africa. So this is the message that I'm coming to speak to the leaders of Africa, that if they want to see the Africans, if they want to see their nation going forward, they must make sure that they are protecting the resources to remain in Africa, not to go out of Africa. Because if they go out of Africa, this is as good as giving the same things they are running away from to the friends who are now doing the same thing, tapping from the resources of Africa, where Africa will end up with nothing. So this is the message, that if they want to protect their resources, they must make deals which are in protection. They must make deals that have protection of the interests of Africa. The deals that will make sure that the resources, they remain in Africa, the deals that will make sure that they employ people from Africa, the deals that will make sure they will hire the people from Africa more than the people who are outside. I'm not a politician, but that if Africa is to be great, they must understand that they cannot run away from a lion and go to the leopard and they say we are doing justice to the African. If they want to make friends with a lion and a leopard, they must say, a lion you must not take the whole share, a leopard you must not take the whole share. As we can see, the leopard from the east is taking most of the shares of Africa, and eventually Africa will be like yesterday, and people will wonder, where did we go wrong? As we see the same thing and the history repeating itself. This is the word of the Lord, that the people of Africa need to understand, and those who are going to be raised as leaders, they must understand this, that Africa can only rise when people understand that the resources of Africa belongs to Africa, and if they want to make friends and put boundaries to protect their interest, more than hating another, but doing the same thing, inviting a friend who will be do much more damage than the one that they call witch to their nation or to their Africa or to their continent. This is the message of the Lord, that Africa need to stand up, need to understand that God can do things when people understand the value of the things that God has given them. This is the message that I want to share with you. May God bless Africa as we continue to pray for our nations, and we continue to pray for Africa to rise up. In Jesus' name.